Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Now, take my 5 minutes away. I want to begin by saying I love you, I appreciate you, and I thank God for all of you. I am so filled with joy in my soul, because when I entered this room, I saw what many of us have been praying for many, many years. We would come together. Thank God for the Parliament and for the committee for the Global Women's Assembly, because we've been praying that we would come together and really work together as women for a common cause. Right now, I feel like a woman who was a former slave. Her name was Sojourner Truth. And for 40 years, during the 19th century, she traveled the country speaking for women's rights and for the abolition of slavery and for anything that was an injustice to a human being. And on one occasion in 1851, she attended a women's convention in Akron, Ohio. And she was the only African-American woman there. And in that convention, she gave a famous speech called, "Ain't I a Woman?" During her speech, she talked about all of the things that she had done as a woman to prove to the men and the women there that we were as capable as men in any experience we were in. During the break, I had the opportunity of going out to the sheroes. I wondered who they were. And they said they were veterans. They were former firefighters. The women in occupations that we often don't hear about. So we have to always say to men, "Ain't I a woman?" Say it with me right now.
Ain't I a woman?
Look at your neighbor and tell him, ain't. Tell your neighbor.
Ain't I a woman?
When you think about all that we do, we have to realize that we are women of strength, women of courage, women of love, women of patience, women of great understanding. And today, my concern in my 5 minutes is to say to you that it's time for us to release our fears. We don't need to allow social media to dictate to us who we should love, who we should like, who we should appreciate. Because so much comes through the airwaves that cause us to live in fear of different groups and different nationalities and different ethnic groups. But somewhere along the line, during this conference, as we started this morning, I was so glad to hear the women this morning, we must begin to really touch each other and to look beyond the color of one's skin and to really say, I know that we are one. And with that, I want you to just take somebody by the hand. I do things differently. Reach out and get a hand. Because you see, there's another thing that I know. And I'm going to say this with all love. Women sometimes don't appreciate other women. Amen?
I appreciate you.
We've got to learn as women to appreciate each other. Sometimes women are just as discriminating as men. I didn't tell you to take your hands loose. Put them back together. Now, why am I doing this? Because there is an energy in this place. And there's an energy in each one of us. And every time you touch somebody from the human level, you've already touched in your heart because you've learned that there's nothing but unconditional love. But when you touch that person from the human level, you are saying to them, I know with you that all is well. Because in this gathering, we don't know who has gone through the transition of a loved one. We don't know who has received information that says they have a life-threatening illness. We don't know what's happening in this room to each one of us, but when we touch each other, when we give each other that loving support through that one little touch, we can turn this world upside down. And I believe that, and I thank God for believing it. And I want us, as we go through this session together, When you see someone, speak to them, say hello. Don't look so ugly. You know, just learn to, when I get in the elevator in the hotel, I say, hello everybody, and it shocks people. But you know, people.
Because she's tall.
People are needing love. And this is the beginning of something wonderful. This movement, this is a movement. In this place, this is a movement. We have begun something that can transform the world. And remember, wherever you are, keep holding the hands. See, I'm 6'5", I'm a tall Texan, I can see you. But wherever you are, speak to someone. Don't be afraid of who they are and what they are. Just say hello. They may need that hello. And I'm going to close with this saying because I know my 5 minutes. I know I love. See, I don't need you have 5 minutes. I need 15, but I do have 15 another time. So come back give me the next time. But I want to give you a quote from Maya Angelou, Maya Angelou. Each time a woman stands up for herself, without knowing it, without claiming it, she stands up for all women. Today in this place, in this gathering, so many of us come from so many backgrounds, we stand together. And so it is.